George Motz's Hamburger America is unquestionably the most popular spot for burgers in New York City right now. Motz is a burger scholar and historian who has spent decades traveling across the country finding the nation's best and most unique burgers. His restaurant is the culmination of everything that he has learned and is a celebration of the hamburger. Obviously, I had to try it.
Today I'm here in New York City along the Hudson River. It is hot, humid, and steamy out, and I have no idea why the hell I wore a long sleeve shirt, but I at least had a good lunch. I went to what is arguably the most talked about and popular burger restaurant in New York City right now, George Motz's Hamburger America. Motz is a self-proclaimed burger scholar. Honestly, this guy seems to know more about burgers and their history than pretty much anyone. He made a documentary called Hamburger America, he's appeared on multiple TV shows, and he even wrote a book by the name of Hamburger America. In fact, I even brought my copy of his book to the restaurant today, hoping that he'd be there and he'd be able to sign my book, but alas, given my luck, he was not. But no worries in that regard, because I'm sure I'll be at his restaurant many more times in the future because, well, it's really good, and I'm sure I'll get that chance eventually for him to sign my book. Besides, I was at his restaurant first and foremost for some fine burgers, and that was exactly what I found. This was my experience at George Motz's Hamburger America.
Hamburger America is located along Houston Street in SoHo. The business opened towards the end of 2023 to immediate popularity and acclaim. In 2024, Pete Wells, in his New York Times review of the restaurant, gave Hamburger America a respectable 2 stars. The establishment is the product of George Motz, who has been called by the New York Times as the foremost authority on hamburgers. It was in 2004 that Motz began to make a name for himself with his documentary Hamburger America. In the film, Motz documented the history of the burger in the US, along with showcasing regional burger styles throughout the country. The success of the film led to his book, which is also of the same name. I've really enjoyed reading it. Motz, of course, highlights places that have played an important role in the history of burgers, but it's his showcase of the super unique regional styles of burgers that have intrigued me the most, like the steamed cheeseburgers served in central Connecticut, or the loose meat sandwiches served in Iowa. I highly recommend the book, but as a word of caution, you will have a constant craving for burgers while reading it. Hamburger America should not be read on a diet. To put it simply, I was very excited to dine at George Motz's restaurant. In terms of seating, there are 2 areas to dine at in Hamburger America. The counter is the best spot. You get a great view of the griddle and the action in the kitchen, but those seats can go fast. On my first visit, all the counter seats were taken, so I figured I would get a spot in the restaurant's dining room. Unfortunately, all the seats in the dining room were taken, even though it was a bit outside of the prime lunch hours. I figured that by the time my order was ready, somebody would leave. Sadly, that wasn't the case, and for a bit, I had to eat my lunch balanced awkwardly on my lap while sitting on a random chair. Thankfully, a space did eventually open up, and ironically, it seemed like everyone in the restaurant left within a span of a couple minutes. On another visit, I sat against the windows, which I feel like provide the best seats in the dining room, as the counter is larger than the one on the wall, plus you get a decent view of Houston Street. But like I said earlier, the counter up front is probably the best spot in the establishment, and I was able to snag a seat not long after the restaurant opened. In terms of the menu, Hamburger America's offerings are pretty streamlined. There's basically 2 standard burgers, which include George Motz's fried onion burger and the classic smash burger. There's also a few different sandwiches, fries, and desserts. What I really like about Hamburger America are their monthly burger specials, which allows the restaurant to offer some of the very burgers that Motz has highlighted in his book and other platforms. There's also a decent selection of beverages, but for my visit, I just got a cup of water, which was a poor choice since the cup wasn't very big and I ordered a lot of food. First up was my side of the shoestring fries. There's nothing complex about the fries, they're just damn good fries. The texture was on point, the seasoning was spot on, and they had a solid flavor. I've been to Hamburger America 3 times, and every time that I've visited, I've ordered the fries, which have consistently been satisfying and the perfect side dish to enjoy alongside a burger. And speaking of burgers, I was soon presented with my order. I got a double of the classic smash burger and a double of the fried onion burger. Yeah, I think getting 2 double burgers along with fries, and I later got a dessert, was just a bit too much. Nevertheless, I was excited to eat. Both of the burgers looked so insanely delicious. I started by trying the classic smash burger. Upon taking my first bite, I quickly realized why so many just love Hamburger America. The burger was fantastic. It's the kind of burger that is so incredibly craveable and satisfying. Burgers at Hamburger America are made with fresh ground chuck. A preformed ball of meat gets smashed down on the griddle. In perfect view of everyone at the counter, you basically get a meal and a show. Motz even alluded to the setup as being hamburger Benihana. The beef patties are then seasoned with kosher salt and a special salt blend. The buns get buttered with unsalted butter and toasted in a nifty sort of contraption. The result is a deliciously juicy and flavorful smash burger. In fact, considering how juicy the burgers are, you're going to be using a lot of napkins. I sure did. With my smash burger, I opted to have it dressed all the way, which included adding mustard, diced onions, dill pickles, and cheese. Normally, I probably would have been happy with just cheese in the dish and maybe some onions, but I wanted to differentiate my burger a bit more from my other burger, the fried onion burger, which was what I tried next. I loved that burger. In fact, I prefer it over the smash burger. It's labeled as the house specialty for a reason. A fried onion burger is a burger with onions that are smashed into the beef patty on the griddle. The onions become caramelized and one with the meat, resulting in a nice flavor and a bit of sweetness. Back when the fried onion burger first came about during the Depression, the onions were used as a way to extend the beef. To me, an Oklahoma fried onion burger is a masterpiece in simplicity. It's a style of burger that just doesn't need much in the way of toppings. I was perfectly happy with just the slices of cheese on my burger. I really appreciate how George Motz is bringing this regional burger style to a new audience. In fact, fried onion burgers have been popping up at other New York City restaurants as well, such as Gotham Burger Social Club and Smacking Burger. If you're only going to get one thing at Hamburger America, the fried onion burger is what I would get. One thing that has kept me coming back to the restaurant are their monthly burger specials. Each month, George adds a burger from a classic burger establishment to the menu. The very first monthly burger special was one that I had to get, which was the Butter Burger from Solly's Grill in Glendale, Wisconsin, which is just outside of Milwaukee. Now, I've never been to Solly's, but I am from the Midwest, and I'm very familiar with Butter Burgers. In fact, one of the most popular places for Butter Burgers is from the Wisconsin-born burger chain of Culver's. I love Culver's. It's probably one of my favorite fast food restaurants, but I've always wanted to try the original Solly's Butter Burger. Hamburger America, in a way, gave me that chance, and I wasn't disappointed. The burger was simple. I got a double, and it contained stewed onions and butter. It was fantastic. With all that butter, it was pretty rich, but I loved the contrast of the sweet onions. Another monthly burger special that I enjoyed was the Theta Burger from Johnny's Charcoal Broiler in Oklahoma City. The burger contained a grilled patty on a seeded toasted bun with shredded American cheese, dill pickles, mayonnaise, and authentic Johnny's sauce. I really enjoyed the burger. The sauce was fantastic. It had a great hickory flavor that combined so well with the meat and other condiments. I was very pleased. While burgers are certainly the focus of Hamburger America, the restaurant also offers a small selection of desserts. When I was eating the fried onion burger and smash burger, I decided to finish with something sweet, so I got a brownie. It was only $3.50, and appearance-wise, it didn't really excite me. However, when I started eating it, that was another story. The brownie was so moist and chocolatey, I was pleasantly surprised. At first, I was a bit perplexed on why there was a fork with the brownie. I don't think that I've ever consumed a single brownie with a fork, but it made sense when I started eating the dish. It was very rich, moist, and dense, which would have made eating it by hand a bit difficult. After finishing my dessert, it was time for the bill, which totaled to $33.48, but with my tip, I spent about $40. Now, in hindsight, I probably should have had just one burger instead of two for that lunch. I was pretty full. On a subsequent visit, when I ate more like a regular person, I had a single burger and fries, which totaled to $13.34. Overall, I think that the prices at Hamburger America are more than fair, especially considering the quality of food one is getting. To sum it up, George Motz is a pretty well-known figure. It's no question that his popularity helped make the restaurant a success. But Hamburger America is so much more than a spot with a famous name attached to it. Motz's passion for burgers is alive in every aspect of the establishment. Hamburger America is truly one of the best burger restaurants in New York City.
Ah, so that was a fine lunch, and those were some damn fine burgers. George Motz's Hamburger America clearly lives up to the hype. Those burgers were just so insanely satisfying, but I think Hamburger America is more than just the food, it's the whole burger and dining experience that makes the restaurant special. After reading Motz's book, it became pretty clear that he took a lot of what he discovered from going to all these burger places across America and incorporated the best aspects into his restaurant. Dining at Hamburger America is also just fun. I really appreciated all the pictures and memorabilia of these historical burger establishments on the walls at Hamburger America. The restaurant really feels like it's a celebration of the hamburger in all its various forms. Case in point, I love the restaurant's sort of monthly burger series, which not only provides another reason to come back to Hamburger America, it really showcases the diversity and variety of burgers across the country. In summation, I love Hamburger America. I really think it is an absolutely essential restaurant to go to if one likes burgers, which most people do. The place really has it all. The food is obviously delicious, the prices are very fair, the staff is friendly, and the atmosphere is a lot of fun. For what it is, the restaurant is nearly perfect, although they could actually use bigger water glasses, but you know, small detail. To sum it up, George Motz's Hamburger America is a great restaurant, and I will definitely be back.